Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 2. Today we have got a local derby against Scunthorpe United, and we've also got Woking as well in today's episode. So since you were last here, we've played a few games. We've put some bids in for players. We've got no transfer budget this season, so we're putting bids of £0 for players who are transfer listed. So we'll see what's happened with that as well. But first of all, I suppose we'll take you through the fixtures that have happened since last episode. So you were here for our opening game of the season at home to Wrexham. Unfortunately, lost it in the 89th minute, but it was a good display there. We then went up against Eastleigh in the game after that, away from home, and lost 2-0. Eastleigh fully deserved their win, I've got to say, actually. They were the better side out there. I did think we'd stand a chance because they're also a part-time club, but we didn't, unfortunately. We didn't beat them. So it was a bit of a disappointment, but we did bounce back against Kingstonian, winning 2-0 at home. We changed formation. We played a 4-3-3 here today. We played a narrow 4-3-3. The first two games of the season with a 4-4-2. And this, worked well, clearly, because we got 2 goals. So I was very happy with that performance and the win there. The first 3 points on the board. We went back to the 4-4-2 against Yeovil and lost 3-0. And we didn't play badly. We just switched off for the last 15 minutes of the game. They missed a penalty as well, but then they scored the rebound from it. That's where they scored the 90th minutes. But we didn't play badly. But I don't know why, we just seem to switch off. And the 3 games we've lost, we played the 4-4-2. We then played Crawley, playing the 4-1-4-1, and won it 1-0. So the 4-4-2 that worked so well last season has resulted in 3 losses. And when we switched up formations, we've won both games. So in today's episode, we're not going to play the 4-4-2 and just see what happens. Overall, though, I suppose I am happy with that. Yeovil are going to be a decent side, having been recently relegated. We know Wrexham have always been around the top of the table. Eastleigh was a bit unlucky to lose to, but a win against Kingstonian was expected, and Crawley were expected to beat us, but that was a great result. So I don't think the results are quite reflective of how good we actually probably are this season. I think we will pick up a few more wins later on. Nothing to worry about too much yet. Right now, it puts us 16th in the table, which I think is very respectable so far. 16th on 6 points, on level with Torquay, Morecambe and Aldershot. Scunthorpe below us, and so are Grimsby as well, so that's really good to see. Love to see those 2 local teams below us in the table. Right, on to those transfers I was telling you about. We put bids in for 2 players. The first one is James Morris. We put a bid of £0 in, but they want 23k, and we can't afford that. So, unfortunately, we won't be getting James Morris, the left-back, who's meant to be very good, meant to be better than Dale, who's not played particularly well this season so far. So he could have been a good player, but obviously won't join us. But we have had an offer accepted from York for, when it wants to load it, for Tariq Shabab. However, I've just noticed he wants 1.4k per week. So I don't think we're going to be getting him either. He's a decent centre-back, to be fair. Really good. He's 4-star current ability, I believe. So he would be a class player for us. League 1 potential as well, which is really good. Obviously, would come to us for free. We just need to get this wage down, which we have a maximum of 600. Now, we'll have to lock that in. And let's get rid of that promotion wage rise. And then let's get rid of the unused substitute fee as well. Because I want to stick to my guns and my philosophies. Let's not offer like promotions and bonuses and things like that. I don't like doing that. Instantly, he rejects that. So the search for more players continues. And it's going to be difficult. Just finding that balance between players that want to join us, that are good enough to improve the squad, and are affordable. It's very, very difficult at the moment to find that mix. So for this Scunthorpe game, we're going to go for this 4-3-3 again that worked quite well against Kingstonian. I changed this in pre-season because I think we have 3 of the best strikers in the league in Turner, Brown and Mason. 100%. Actually, Turner and Mason need to be swapped over there to just be in their pressing forward and advanced forward positions. But we do have 3 of the best strikers in the league. We need to use them. So I thought at the time, let's try and get a 4-3-3 going. And it worked well against Kingstonian at least. So this is the team for today. We've got White in goal with a back line of Dale, Walkley, Clark, Eden and Cook. Midfield trio of Howell, Hall and Belcher with Turner, Mason and Brown starting up front. Right then, kickoff is upon us. Scunthorpe coming all the way to Lincoln for one of the first Lincolnshire derbies of the season. Obviously, in this Football Manager, they've really dropped because they're a League 1 club in real life. I think this season they're not doing particularly well, but I think last season they were challenging for promotion from the League 1 to the Championship. So obviously in Football Manager, within 6 seasons, something quite bad does happen to them. I'm expecting them to bring at least 1,000 fans here today. If Wrexham brought 700 in last episode, I think Scunthorpe should bring 1,000 or so. They've got 5 points so far. 4 before this, of course, the extra point they've got right now from drawing against us. They do have a corner, though, which goes right to the far post and goes over the bar, luckily for us. But early warning sign from Scunthorpe there. I remember back in the day, like, this must be about 15 years ago or so, but Lincoln City this is, used to have quite the rivalry in the playoffs against each other constantly in League 2. In fact, probably the old Division 3, it might have been still called back by then as well. Scunthorpe, they are coming forward. Wakely, did you see that tackle from him? If he didn't get his foot in there, that would have been 1-0 to Scunthorpe. We can count ourselves very, very lucky. And we can come on the counter-attack now as Turner wins the ball, coming down the wing with it, puts it into Brown at the far post. When we score a goal, and that is all thanks to Wakely. 100% thanks to Wakely that. If he didn't make that tackle right there, that would not have been a goal. We've gone up the other end and scored. Jordan Brown with his 3rd of the season. Is it Jordan Brown or is it James Brown? I always forget. Jonathan Brown. Wasn't either of them. I'm never very good with the first names, especially when we've got so many J's. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, 6 with J's. I can never remember who's who, which is a bit annoying. I only ever call them by their surnames and look at them by their surnames, so it's a bit difficult when they've got so many. I know it's Jermaine Turn, it's Jonathan Brown, it's Joe Howell. Is it Jamie Hall? I'm sure it's Jamie Hall. Joseph Hall. And then we've got some other J's as well. But it's half time right now. We're 1-0 up. Pretty good going. Hopefully, we'll see Scunthorpe bringing 1,000+ fans in the second half. It will tell us the attendance, won't it? And that'd be really, really good for ticket sales, especially. Oh, okay. They've brought 113. I expected there to be another 1 on the front of that, if I'm honest with you. Fair play, Scunthorpe. You don't really bring many travelling fans with you on a... To be fair, it's a midweek game. Oh, no, it's not. It's a weekend because it's 3 o'clock kickoff. So I'm not quite sure why Wrexham brought 700 all the way from Wales, but Scunthorpe can't bring more than 100 down the A15 for 45-minute drive, if that. Probably not even that. We've just let them through at the back as well, to be fair. Hopefully, White is going to be on form, although they have just played the ball out wide to try and get a better angle of attack. Nearly putting it in the back of a net as well, to be fair. Obviously, the game is far from won. We do need to make some changes out there. Howell and Wakely looking tired. We probably should take them both off. We'll definitely take Howell off. It's going to have to be for Mick McCabe, though, who's coming on the pitch. Not really a Mazzala. We'll swap him around with Hall. Hall can go as that Mazzala out wide. McCabe can become more central as a ball midfielder on defend. I don't really want to take Wakely off because he is absolutely quality, but he is looking tired out there, and we want to rest him for the next game against Woking. Another chance for Scunthorpe to come forward. Then Wakely's not there to defend this time, and they've hit the post this time. This is probably where we should drop back to a 4-4-2, but we've conceded a lot of late goals. Really, in the last 15 minutes of games playing the 4-4-2. We have conceded at least 4 goals. So I don't really want to drop back to it knowing that sort of statistic is there. At the same time, though, I do know that a 4-3-3 isn't very defensive. And Scunthorpe have another chance to come forward. And is it just going to be a matter of time? They've won a penalty. That's frustrating. I don't think that was a penalty. I thought our man got there. Now, Calderwood has saved a penalty already this season. Can he save it? He does save it. It's not Calderwood, it's White in goal. He saved another one. That's 2 saved penalties this season from White in goal. The on-loan goalkeeper. Fantastic stuff. The corner comes in and they've messed it up completely. We've got 13 minutes to hold on. I don't think we drop to a 4-4-2. We bring it back to this formation. We can bring... Yeah, we could do this, to be fair. I thought Turner could play out wide. He can't particularly. We can play on the left a little bit. We'll bring Douglas Hurst on for Mason, who's not played particularly well this season at all, which is a little bit worrying. That's the change we'll make. And hopefully this will just be a little bit more defensive for the final 10 minutes. Yeah, Mason's not been great. And actually his training report, he has not been the worst in training, but he's been the second worst in training for the past 3 weeks. So I've not been able to talk to him about it yet, but he's not been playing particularly well. And Brown's been scoring goals. So at the moment... Brown is my favourite striker at the club. I'm sure Mason will pick it up soon. But we have just gone and beaten Scunthorpe United in the first Lincolnshire derby of the season, which is fantastic stuff. Temporarily moves us up to 11th in the table pending any other goals, such as potentially one for them as they nearly came forward. White collects the ball, and I think that should be that. So there we go. Lincoln United 1, Scunthorpe 0. That's a huge result. So Woking coming up in a few days' time, who were actually, I think, 9th before the Scunthorpe game, so they must have lost and dropped down quite a bit. Obviously, it's early on the season, so there's a lot of movement, but that's a long way to drop. Good to see Darren White as well selected in Team of the Week. Also, a very, very strong lineup from Carlisle there. All the defenders and a striker. That's decent. Now, we do have 3 players on international duty. Turiak's gone to Romania, and Agu's gone to Nigeria, and Brown, the striker, he's gone to Northern Ireland. So all like the under-20 setups, but we are going to be missing Brown for the Woking game. And we're going to be missing Agu as well, so we can't go for 3 strikers for the Woking game. So I think we're going to go for the 4-1-4-1. And we can see how they're doing right now, actually. They must have played a game. Agu scored a goal for Nigeria, which is good, and Brown didn't really do much at all. Agu seems to score quite a few goals internationally, 4 and 5, which is good. But for us, is like he's a bit mediocre for us. So look, Mark Mason right down here, 5.7. Only Emery's worse than him, so we can't criticise Mason. Dom Cook playing well though in training, which is good to see, alongside Darren White in goal and Jack Walkley in defence. So that's good as well. Not really sure what's gone on with Mason. What is going on with him? Can we have a word with him? Can we actually do that? Warn player. Criticise training. We can do that. Disappointed with your training performances. He's going to hold his hands up and admit it. He's going to improve. Hopefully we'll see that. And he needs to improve today because he's going to be leading the line today as we play the 4-1-4-1 formation. So we need Mason up front instead of Brown, obviously, which means McCabe comes on in that CDM position. We swap out the wingers for Spencer Keller on the left. And we want Douglas Hurst on the right. In terms of the field, we're gonna have Belcher playing as our central midfielder, and then we're gonna bring on, of course, where is he? Where's old Howell gone? Oh, he's already in position. He's already there. We don't need to worry about him. Howell starting as our attacking playmaker. The back line, I am happy with. So that is the lineup. We need to just make a few changes to the bench. Turiak can't go on the bench, can he? Actually. So Griffiths will go on the bench alongside probably Huari, who's played 1 or 2 games this season, but I still can't work out how you properly pronounce his name. But because he's Brazilian, and because we signed him on the grounds that he was Brazilian, it's time to finally do it, I think, and just give him a nickname and call him the Brazilian. So there we go, the Brazilian, which I'm not sure has 2 L's or not, but I've got 2 L's in it right now. He's going to be a star central midfielder for us. Right then, that's that. Submit the team. Let's go. Kickoff is upon us. Woking probably should win this game, to be fair. They're playing at home as well, so they're going to have that home advantage. But we have won a few games this season now. We're on a bit of a good bit of form. We've won 3, we've lost 3. It's not the worst kind of thing in the world. We're averaging... Is that averaging? That's 1.5 points per game, isn't it? Which isn't bad. We beat Scunthorpe last time out as well, which is really, really good. So I am positive for today's game. Woking, though, are coming forward in this highlight. The cross comes in. They hit the crossbar, to be fair. Walkley gets it away, and they hit the post. Twice hitting the woodwork there within seconds of each other. And we've definitely got away with not conceding there. Wakely, by the way, he is so good. Like, we've already seen twice now. Last game, he cleared one away against Scunthorpe when we scored at the other end. That time, the rebound came off the bar. The keeper had nowhere to go, couldn't do anything about it. And Walkley gets in there to clear it away. They hit the post again afterwards, but he got the clearance in at least and probably saved them scoring. I'm also quite confused as to why the 4-4-2 isn't working so well this season. It worked really well last season, obviously. And yet the formation we're using right now, the 4-1-4-1, really didn't work last season for us. But we've already won 1 game playing this formation. And right now we're on top of the stats against Woking using this formation away from home. So I'm confused as to why this has all gone on. But I'm not complaining. Well, I am complaining a little bit, because if I'd known the 4-4-2 wasn't going to work as well as it had done last season, I wouldn't have played it in those games, and perhaps we might not have lost those games. I am concerned, though, that Mason, I don't think he's got above a 6.6 in the game yet, apart from when he scored a penalty. That's the only goal he's scored this season, a penalty. Douglas Hurst has just picked up a knock as well. We'll bring him off in a minute, as they just scored the softest free kick in the world. How did White not save that? He's been a hero saving 2 penalties, and yet a free kick like that he just couldn't save, which is frustrating, I've got to say. We do have a highlight. Right, let's watch this before we make any changes. Their man's been sent off. Okay, that's interesting that their man's been sent off. We do have to take Douglas Hurst off for Griffiths, but we'll make that one change for now. Their man's been sent off, as you can see up here, Scott Bennett. Hopefully we'll make the most of it as Clark Eden's free kick brings the ball forward. Howe puts it across to Dale, who we know can deliver a good cross into Morrison, into Griffiths. With his first touch of the game, puts it in the back of the net. His first of the season as well. Back on level terms. I'll take a draw against Woking, actually. I will take a draw against Woking because they're a decent side. We're away from home as well, so it's always going to be much harder. I would just love to see Mason grab a goal or two to just give him some confidence, I think. I think that's what he's lacking a little bit at the moment. How, although he's like, I love him to bits, his fitness is awful. Like, we have to take him off every game pretty much. Hall's going to come on for him for the final 15 minutes or so. Hopefully, that change could spark something in attack. I don't know. Their goalkeeper with the goal kick puts it up towards our players because it goes nowhere near their players. And Keller has a chance to come forward out towards Dale, who can get it back in centrally into Hall. Hall out to Griffiths with a lot of space. Griffiths really should have done so much better there, but gets tackled easily. But gets the ball back, loses it again. And here come Woking forward with the ball. Clark Eden actually wins it though, so that's good. Don't get tackled. He doesn't get tackled. Right, back to White. To show some distribution, plays it to Clark Eden, who plays it back to White. So a good bit of passing play there. Get the pass completion percentage up out to Dale. Dale can put it forward. Our man's behind. Why is Keller not making the run there? Really should have done. Again, make the run, dart out wide a bit. He's done it. Keller into Mason. Mason! With his second of the season, putting us 2-1 up against Woking. We've come from behind here today fantastically. And now we've got 10 minutes to hold on for another win. Today's episode's been amazing, to be fair. I did think we'd lose them. Coming into the episode, having lost 3 of the 5 games we played, I was a little bit sceptical, but we've done phenomenally well. Let's not hold our breath yet as their free kick. Another chance hits the post there as well. Woking have been very unlucky, I've got to say. 3 chances hitting the woodwork, so it could have been a very different scoreline today, but as they come forward once again, there's a 40 seconds on the clock left or so. I can't see him scoring. Robson coming forward, though, tackled, but only as far as another Woking player. We've just got to hold on, and then we'll have another win this season, up to 12 points. Cleared away, Mason on the ball, just run to the corner flag and hold on to it, please, lad. He puts the ball across to Belcher, to be fair, and we could grab another goal here. Belcher, get the cross in, lad. He's a bit too late doing it. Dale out to Cook, and I think that's going to be that. Into Hall, shot comes in from Belcher, who puts it in the back of a net to make it 3-1. An extra nice bit of goal difference there as well, which is superb. And that is going to be that. Brilliant. A superb win that actually, I mean, it's very, very early on in the season and not indicative of how the season will finish, but puts us only a few points outside the playoffs, which is a nice position to be in. So Douglas Hurst only out for a few days, which isn't too bad. That's all right. We will praise Mason for his assist and goal today, though, because he needs a bit of boost, I think, at the moment. He's pleased with his performance as well, which is good. It's a good end to the episode, that I've got to say. Very good end to the episode. Next episode, we're going to be doing Grimsby, another Lincolnshire derby, which is going to be quite exciting. And also Dover, who are flying high at the moment in the Vanarama National League, but in real life are being threatened with relegation, which actually I quite like. I don't really like Dover as a club, so I'm happy that in real life they look like they might be going down. Either way, thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have done, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.